Welcome to Monday Night Football, where Soccer Town comes to you. We got
Soccer Town USA.
Where Soccer Town USA comes to you. Not to be confused with Soccer Town Belgium or Spain or Qatar.
Brought to you by
Elliott Media, of course. We're always happy to present this show. We're getting a lot of good stuff going this week. What a week it was! A lot of stories here. Let's go over what happened this week. Can y'all go ahead and break down exactly the scores?
Let's hit the OptiLink scoreboard for us, Juan.
Yes, OptiLink scoreboard. On Monday, Coahulla Creek boys with a 2-0 win over Tryon. These are all Tuesdays. Northwest girls 7-3 over Woodland. Boys 3-0 over Woodland. Southeast 7-0 over Hiram girls 3-1. Boys. Christian Heritage girls losing to Dade County 6-0. Christian Heritage boys beating Dade County 1-0. Dalton Academy going down to our Murchie girls 10-0 and the boys 8-0. Ringgold beating North Murray 8-2 on the girls' side, 2-1 on the boys. Murray County splitting there. The girls winning 2-1. Murray County boys losing to LFO 2-1. So that's very interesting.
Wait for it.
And then Dalton playing Alatoona, the girls losing 7-3. Scoreline was a little closer than expected on that one, so don't let that scoreline throw you off there. And then Dalton boys with a commanding win over Alatoona 4-0. Todd, and what about Wednesday and Thursday?
Wednesday, Coahulla Creek 9, Rockmart 0. On the girls' side, Coahulla Creek 6, Rockmart 0, pitching a total shutout there. Northwest 2, Calhoun 0 on the girls. Northwest 1. Upset alert. It was 1-1. Calhoun boys win on PKs. Christian Heritage 1, Coosa 3 on the girls, and the boys Coosa 3, Christian Heritage 0.
And rounding out on Friday, we had Dalton Academy girls playing to a tie with Oakwood Christian. I'm assuming they're out of state. That's why it stayed a tie. Southeast going down to Cartersville. Southeast playing beating girls winning 3-0, and the boys with a 10-1 win. Dalton. Well, let me just leave that here. North Murray over Sonoraville. North Murray playing Sonoraville. Sonoraville girls beating North Murray 9-1. North Murray boys winning 2-1. Coahulla Creek versus Murray County girls. Coahulla Creek 4, Murray 1, and upset on the boys side. Murray County 3, Coahulla Creek 1, and the big one. Well, the girls not so big. We knew the girls were going to win. Yeah. Dalton girls 7 versus Cedartown 0, and then the number 4 ranked team in the state playing the number 1 ranked team in the state in 4A. Yeah. And what do we say here? They got
what a night that was.
They got rickrolled. It was 10-0, 15 minutes left in the game, and it was stopped due to the mercy rule.
Wow. So somebody early in the week ordered up some smoke, and Dalton was more than happy to deliver on that one.
I think there was a little bit of social media there.
I don't want to say it was. It wasn't necessarily trash talking.
It wasn't trash talking,
but it was confidence by Cedartown social media. They were just trying,
their coach.
Yes, and trying to get support up to Dalton as is. You're trying to build a program, take it to the next level. You want people to be there. You never know when you're going to get that signature win, and he thought it might be. It was not.
Could not have been further from what happened.
Sheesh.
And we will discuss
Can't wait to talk about that.
We will discuss that more. But also the Murray County beating Coahulla Creek.
Yeah, signature win for the Murray County program. Here's the thing. I did not realize that Murray County had been playing a little shorthanded, or you called it, Juan. You said that game to keep your eye on it, and you were spot on.
Yeah, but with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we will discuss a little bit of the Dalton, Cedartown, and their Dalton-Alatoona matchups.
AKA the Smoke Show.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little.
And I'm Dr. Kayla Giubo with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Builtwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Builtwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our park.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. As we just mentioned, we just went over the OptiLink scoreboard. Now we're going to discuss a little bit more of the Dalton Allatoona and Dalton Cedartown matchups. Todd, let's start off with the very first, and Diego, the very first matchup. Dalton Allatoona, you weren't there, but the scoreline was 7-3. For those that don't know, Dalton was actually up 3-2 at half, potentially 3-1. Their starting keeper went down with an injury at halftime, so then they had to put in a backup keeper. And then Allatoona kept it close. Dalton kept it close. Allatoona came in and got a couple of goals, and then right there, it's just it's just like the brakes fell off. It just goal after goal, and then you could start seeing that Dalton was playing really well, very compact. They were controlling the midfield. They were doing what they're supposed to do. But to be honest, Allatoona just had too much speed on the wings. They were just able to expose them on the outside and then just have them cross it in, and the corner kicks, they were just able to get in there. But like I said, they came up short. They with this, Allatoona goes on to win region.
Yeah, essentially.
And Dalton is pretty much just holding off the number 2 spot.
I love the way he segued that, Todd, Diego, and then proceeded to analyze the entire game.
I don't forget. Y'all weren't there, though, so that's why.
It was a one-man analysis.
Well, I had to analyze because I forgot. Y'all did that matchup. Y'all weren't able to.
Correct. I did not get to see it.
I will say this, and Juan, I got a little excited with one of his texts when they were up, and I did not realize when he said they were
that's embarrassing.
When they were like, yeah, it was, when there was just like a few minutes left. What he meant was in the first half. That will lead one to maybe text an embarrassing text and a congratulations when one is not ordered. So anyway, moving on.
I did apologize to Coach Almodovar on your behalf. And
my bad, dog.
He said, man. I said, I was wondering. And Todd, I said, Todd, look at the time. Look what the time it is.
I don't know what time it is. I live out in the sticks. Time stands still. So anywho, here's the thing. We see that a lot on the guys' side, right, as well. You'll see like a team holding on versus Dalton, and then all of a sudden that talent, that depth just rises to the top and just blows the top off the thing. And I think that's what you saw with that. It brought that talent gap is still there a little bit and the depth gap, and it just shows up a lot at the end of the game.
And that's the Allatoona was missing, I think, a key player, right?
One of their players was on Mexican national team.
Where was she at?
Oh, that was
Mexican
amazing.
national team. Yeah. So she wasn't there. But an insider told me a lot of times they play better sometimes when she's not there because they don't depend on her so much. So, but anyway,
but they rebound
nice
quickly,
rebound.
right?
Now, see, I think the Allatoona game and the Cedartown game is almost a part 1, part 2 of the Dalton story for this week. Talking to the girls at the Cedartown game, that Allatoona game was definitely on their mind when they played Cedartown. So it definitely served a big purpose there. But I mean, that game was great. Are we ready to talk about the Dalton Cedartown?
Yeah, that's where we're at. 7-0 win on Dalton. They came back.
You were there for that.
Absolutely, from the first whistle to the end. Absolutely loved it. It was a dominant performance. And I will say the biggest standout I had was just how much emphasis there was on the through the middle passing, the long through balls. And I mean, even though she only scored a 1 goal, gigantic props to Kendra. Mm-hmm. Kendra absolutely, to me, was the player of the match for the way she dictated that. 7-0. That could have easily been a mercy rule. There was a lot of missed opportunities, and a lot came through the focus on those long passes. I didn't see a lot of the short passing game or even the wing play. I saw so much of the through balls down the middle.
Really direct.
Yes, very direct.
Well, it's a lot of times, we compliment the Dalton girls on the ability to play like the tiki-taka style and really control the game through possession. But, it kind of shows you when the opposition allows, they will play direct, and that's just a nice evolution of the game, being able to adapt to the opponent. So seeing them run out 7-0, Juan, like you said, they're just kind of holding on to second place there. And we do have a couple of interviews.
Well, let's go. You were talking about Kendra, so let's roll into that Kendra Delgado interview right here. So let's see what she had to say about the game.
Here again, a familiar face, Kendra. We talked not too long ago after the Southeast victory. A lot's happened since then. Talk to us a little bit about the Allatoona game and now the Cedartown game. What are your thoughts on the loss there and then the big win here?
So honestly, against Allatoona, I think we started off strong, but towards the end, that's where we kind of settled in way too early. And that's what brought our game down. But I think we brought all that frustration and that anger and the anxiousness to want to play again into this game, and that's how we started off.
Today, Kendra, you got on the score sheet with a great free kick towards the end of the game, but you were responsible for most of the goals here. 3 assists, Kendra. How do you feel being the one that is essentially responsible for the text? How do you feel being the assister rather than the scorer?
So honestly, I think I like assisting better than goals. It feels amazing to be a part of the play that makes things happen, and I just like giving really good balls.
Absolutely. And Kendra, today I kind of spoiled it for you while we were preparing, but for everyone at home, with today's game and your 3 assists, you are now ranked #1 in the country for assists. I mean, how do you feel about that, being ranked #1 in the country for assists with 27 now?
Well, honestly, since before you told me, I had no idea. I don't check the stats or anything like that, but it feels good. Actually, it feels really good. I think that's a huge accomplishment for me.
Any last words as the rest of the season keeps going?
Hopefully, I can get many more assists. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Kendra.
Thank you.
And welcome back. And, like I said, we just heard there Kendra DeGaul to give her a little analysis of the game, Diego, that you were able to
absolutely in a gigantic game for her, since with that result, she became the top assister in the entire nation for high school. So a gigantic achievement that day, which she didn't know about that. I spoiled it for her during the interview, as you heard, and it was so great to hear the reaction.
She's looking to dish out those helpers now.
As you saw in an interview, she loves assisting, possibly more than scoring. And I think it is such a key element to have when you love players who don't need to be that central focus. Right. You know, they have Ashley, they have Allie to take care of the finishing. I mean, Kendra supplying that. Tremendous thing. Now, I will say one big highlight. I was talking to Coach Edis, I believe it was. He mentioned that perhaps the best thing of that game was that after the game, the Cedartown coach went up to him and said, "Hey, coach, I got to tell you, these girls are probably the most sportsmanlike players we have faced. They were so nice, so respectful to us." And coach was saying that's probably my favorite thing to say, apart from just the 7-0, the attitude that the girls showed, winning that much.
And just really quick, obviously, we are also able to get an interview with Ellis Robertson, you know, the standout freshman. Todd, I don't know if you've had a chance to see her play, but she plays well above her status as a freshman. I think for Almodovar, she's like a little Swiss Army knife. He puts her wherever. She's more of a team player. Like she's more of a midfielder, but if he needs her play, if they need her playing right back to stop one of the right wings that are very fast, she'll step back there. She'll step back to stop her to a sweeper. So she's
having
been
a player
there.
like that on your team,
incredible.
is just
I mean, just the poise on her. She's very strong on the ball. It's hard to get her off the ball. She's very technical, and I know you were able to get an interview. So let's run to that interview with Ellis Robertson, and as she discusses how her freshman year and how this Dalton team's going so far.
Hey, y'all, I'm right here with, can you go ahead and tell us who we're talking to, the number 12?
I'm Ellis Robertson.
Ellis, there's a question I want to ask, because I think it's a question on a lot of people's mind. How does it feel as a freshman to be playing such a prominent role here in a school with as much history as Dalton High?
I love it. It's so much fun. It's a great experience for me because I love to play the game. I love to play with my teammates. It's a great experience, good hours. I just love playing the sport. So it's like, it just helps like the energy, and I love playing with all my teammates, and it's so much fun.
And with it being your freshman season, you know, you have a lot of time left here in the program, hopefully. What are some things you're hoping to get, not just out of this season, but the next few?
Just the experience with everybody. I love, Dalton Soccer is just a great program, and I love playing with it, and I play with a bunch of these girls throughout so many years. There's so much chemistry between us, and I can't wait to build it more.
In a very dominant game, 7-0, always a good feeling. How do you compare this feeling? You know, we're bouncing back from a very tough Alatoona game, coming back to, again, a dominant win. What does this do for you in the season?
It just helps us build our confidence, help us get back on our feet, and get back in the winning spirit.
Any last words before we head out?
Go Dalton.
Hey, there you go.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. And as we mentioned, we just heard that interview. So how was that interview in Ellis as a freshman?
I love it. I'll never forget the first game, the scrimmage I watched versus Northwest, and she was doing a great job in the midfield. And I asked, I forget who I asked, and I was like, who is that? They're doing such a great job. And it's like, oh, that's Ellis. She's a freshman. What? At a freshman that level?
And you wonder, like, her trajectory, if she keeps on at this level and at this pace, what she's going to look like as a senior. And we know it can't always be extrapolated out like that.
Yeah.
But still, if she continues on this course, she's going to be definitely a player to watch in the future.
Well, and it's also going to be interesting, you know, as we have about 30 seconds left, but it's really interesting to see what the fitness level of these Catamount girls are going to look like next year. And the reason I'm saying that is Dalton High has went out and hired the number 2 strength and conditioning coach in the state of Georgia.
We're ranking strength and conditioning.
Well, he is ranked number 2.
That's amazing that's ranked. I would love to know that.
So the new football coach brought in his own strength coach, and from my understanding, his credentials are out there. So we'll have to see where, the girls go and the boys, because he'll be having a lot of input to work with that. But with that, we're getting ready to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the team that wanted the smoke.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service. We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh, yes, you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Hey, and welcome back to Monday Night Football. My name is Todd. I'm one of the hosts here. I'm actually one of the top 3 hosts on the show.
I know what he's referencing.
Brought to you by Elliott Media. If you don't know that reference, go watch the previous segment there.
Ranked in the state.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Top 3
I'm
ranked
top
in the
3
state.
host in this.
I think this show is ranked number 1 in the state, but behind Jason Longshore show. But I think we're right up there with him.
So moving on, let's jump right into the Dalton boys week last week. I had 2 tough games that we thought were going to be tough, definitely relevant in the region conversation. We had Allatoona first off. They run out 4-0 winners over Allatoona, which turned out to be the tougher of the 2 games. I don't think we thought that was going to be the case based on ranking, but were either one of you at that game?
I was at the game. The boys game started out a little slow. Allatoona came out. They were doing, what these teams from the Atlanta region do, try to play aggressive, try to, play big body ball. Dalton was able to absorb some of the pressure. And then, Dalton does what they do. They just start chipping away, getting the outside runs in, start sending those cross, starting sending the long ball, through. And they were able to get, penetrate, score. And then
was Allatoona even trying to come out? I mean, just out of curiosity, were they trying to play?
They tried, but the pressure that, the thing about this team and really is a Dalton trademark. It's the pressure that Dalton plays on you. They are putting pressure. If they lose the ball, they got people chasing after the ball, and they're able to pull off that bench. So, I mean, they tried, but, in
other words, there's no letdown. They just pull off the bench, fresh legs. The talent drop doesn't go down that much when they hit the bench, and that's part of their massive strength. And
so it was 4-0. They came out on top, and then obviously they got rested up, and what we thought was going to be a big game, y'all were both there. We thought the next game was going to be the big game because it was a matchup of a number 1 and number 4 team in the state, and Diego.
Oh my!
You were there.
Gosh.
I mean,
I was there. I was excited.
You texted us. I think Dalton had 3 goals within
3 goals in the first few minutes of the game already.
Yeah, I was watching that, and all of a sudden, and you guys know how it is. You just start getting blown up on your phone. I'm trying to do something, and next thing you know, it's like goal
again.
And I'm like, what? Are you just behind? Or and he's like, no, it's 3-0, and like the game just started.
No, see, I talked to Coach Lupe. What's your prediction for this? And he's like, maybe a 1-0 close game. Could not have been more wrong.
I find that historically when Dalton gets challenged in a way and they think like, a team is really going to come up and give them something, like Dalton is generally ready to let them have everything they want. And that's exactly what happened. And teams find out that they're not ready for the pressure they're going to bring, for the talent level they're going to bring, and it is just overwhelming. And you saw it. And then just the first goal of the game was the free kick, right?
I can't remember if it was the free kick or if it was a set piece, but it definitely was a dead ball.
Which free kick we talking about?
Right.
The Joe Gonzalez free kick?
And when you
let's talk about it real quick. Look at this free kick right outside the box. Joe is setting it up. He's looking at it, and
curl.
I did not expect it to go to the right.
Curls it, as you just saw, he curled it around the right hand. But he's their free kick specialist.
Yeah.
Anything within 25, 30 yards, he's taking that kick.
Yeah.
And I think he's made easily 4, maybe 5 free kicks.
You think of the devastation, like you're all amped up for a game, your crowd's there, and somebody steps up and just sinks that on you in the first 10 minutes of a game. That is just devastating.
But you were there for the game, so you're watching them warm up. Did you sense from the warm up that it was going to be a rout, or did you feel like, okay, this Cedartown team's going to bring?
I sensed that it was going to be a very personal affair. Let me tell you why exactly. So, as the Dalton boys and Cedartown were warming up, there's actually a group of Cedartown fans. I'm gonna call them. I was gonna say something else, but fans that are sitting close to the Dalton boys warming up, and they were just crap talking them as they were warming up, and so they were fueling them even worse.
These aren't players. Let's keep in mind.
Correct. They're not players.
People, right.
Quote unquote fans.
I just want to say this is not reflective.
Were they saying? Were they on the Dalton sideline?
They were on the Dalton sideline, crap talking as the players are warming up, and in my head, I'm like,
against the fence. They were saying,
yes, it was something else. So the Dalton boys clearly really was taking this personally. And so when the game went 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, it was one of those where it's like these boys are enjoying it. And after the game, I talked to a lot of the players and the coaches, and the sentiment was all the same. They talked crap. We showed up.
We handled business.
And that's what it was. And I will say, I actually got warned by the security guard there, all in playfully, because I did make a comment after about 6-0 out loud. It was a very playful comment, but I was told, hey, like, keep it down.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the reason I said it was because I was just thinking about those guys in the warm-up, like all that crap talking, and you get mercy ruled.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, and I did go on Facebook, and and I don't have it, but the Cedartown coach did put out, he put out on their social media posts, he did say, hey, look, we were outclassed, we were outplayed, we were outmuscled. Yes. So he recognized, he said, we got to go back to the drawing board and there, because it doesn't get easy for Cedartown. They've got to play Allatoona and then Southeast this week.
Yeah.
So their cupcake, well, I won't say the cupcake, but they had the easier games in the first half of their region schedule. Now they ended up with Dalton, Allatoona, and then Southeast.
And I think we saw some of the emotion as well, because the game was stopped in the middle of it because of a bit of tensions rising. It was stopped for at least 15 minutes.
And kudos for the Dalton players. Not like, number one, you got to understand your position. You're up big in a game. You have nothing else to gain, everything to lose, and not responding in those small moments like that. That shows a greater sign of maturity for a team that's going to serve you well in the playoffs when those things spark off in a big game, and you don't have a key player getting carded and sent off for an emotional moment, which we've seen in the past.
And really quick, let's go into that penalty kick that we were able to get. Sorry for the
10-0.
This was the one that
hopefully
put
we'll have it in post-production. We'll have the name up.
Number 11 scoring, as you can see here, slots it to the right.
Boom. And you know what's funny about that is when it was 9-0, the players, I don't know if they purposely did it, they were trying to shoot from outside the box, trying to really score. And in the end, boom, 10-0 off a penalty.
And Chris Lopez, I'm sorry we don't have your goal on here because I heard it was highlighted.
It was
nice. Todd, and really quick, we got 50 seconds. Dalton plays Cass revenge game because Cass beat them last year to win region.
Yeah.
And Dalton ended up in 6th place. And then they play Baylor, which Chattanooga, we know, just getting started with
They're
their
about
season.
4 or 5 games in.
So that'll be a good matchup there. So we'll see how they do. I mean, they should run the table. But with that, we're going to commercial break. When we come back, we'll have Coahuila Creek and Murray County.
Here's two of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota. We're taking a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing. Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching. All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, some listeners gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say? We say, oh yes, we can. That's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality. And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
here with Chris. Look at that number 5, bro. What a feeling. You just mercy ruled the number 5th team in the state, bro. How you feeling?
Pretty good, overall it was a team effort, and well, you can say we beat them, mercy rule them,
And I mean, nobody could see this coming. Before the game, it was like, oh, the number 1 team versus the number 5th team. What was the feeling before the game, brother?
Well, they hadn't played any good teams yet, so we knew we were gonna show them what's up.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. And then let's talk about your goal, bro. I mean, little bicicleta, lobbing the goalkeeper, bro. What made you go for that?
I mean, it's just I'm outgoing and I just take a shot.
I like it. And what's next, brother? You just beat them 10-0, mercy rule. What's next?
Well, he's got to keep on playing to win state. That's the goal.
That's the goal right there, state. I mean, you made a heck of a statement. Any last words, my brother, before we head out?
That's about it. It was a pretty good game, but it was a team effort.
Appreciate it, my brother. Thank you for your time, Chris. Right here with Chappies right there, number 10, one of the man of the hour. A lot of love here for you, Chappies. I mean, just look at all that stuff. A lot of love. Man, how you feeling after winning 10-0 against the 5th-ranked team? Well, it was the 5th-ranked team.
No, they came with a lot of hype, but I mean, Dalton, that's what we're about. We had to show them what we're about, and I mean, yeah, like, I'm just so proud of the team that we did good, and we're gonna keep working to win the state championship.
So that's the goal, the state championship.
Yes, sir, it is.
And I mean, what a statement you put on here. At what point in the game did you realize how in control you were?
Oh well, since the beginning, we came in with the mindset that we're gonna win. Like, we're never afraid of a team. The hype, they said it was up there, but I mean, we proved them wrong. So yeah, I'm just proud of the team that we won 10-0. They said it's the first time they win this much in a region match, so I'm just happy to make history here with Dalton. Hopefully we just continue going down this route, and may God just keep guiding us and maybe win the state championship this year.
Brother, that kind of attitude, that kind of mentality, absolutely. Any last words, my brother, before I let you go and celebrate your big night?
No, thank y'all. Thank the Dalton crowd. Thank you for the Dalton crowd just coming out here and just supporting us. I'm just truly so thankful for all of y'all, and may God just bless us and bless us with a great season.
There you go. Hey, y'all love Chappies right there. Woo, be my Chappies. Hey, thank you, brother. All right, appreciate your time. Welcome back to Monday Night Football. And of course, you just heard from 2 of the superstars for that game, Chris and Chappie. So a lot of good stuff said by them. But, we talked about Dalton. Let's talk about the other story for Friday. Murray County. Todd, you were right there front and center for that, what you said was a defining game.
Well,
this is the girls.
Let's talk about the girls.
The girls.
Which for the girls, Color Creek girls win 4-1 in that game. They did play most of the second half down a player. Still, Murray County, they put up a good fight. Physically, they were there. They just couldn't, get those finishing touches in to get a goal. And, Color Creek, to their credit, they handled business. They stayed composed even when they were down a man. And so they played well. And we talked to Coach Cully. I caught up with him after the game. And so let's just go ahead and go to that interview. Hey, it's Todd with Monday Night Football. I'm here with Coach Coley of Color Creek. Coach, you just got a 4-1 win on a Friday night. Tell us, how'd the game go? Did it go as expected, or any surprises?
Well, I don't know about as expected. I wish we could have played a little better. I mean, we did come away with a win, but I will say that they're a much improved team. We can always find things that we can improve upon. I think finishing is our biggest issue right now. We got to find ways to finish. If we had done a little bit more of that, this game might not been even as close as it was.
And how's the region looking for you right now? I know you guys are kind of in a tight battle up top, but how's the region working out?
Well, we had one loss we wish we could have got back, but Snorville's looking pretty strong. Well, all the teams are pretty even across the board. Snorville's looking pretty strong, though. That's coming. That game actually got pushed back a little bit, but we are looking forward to all our region games. But region, we're doing okay. I wish we could be doing a little bit better. We got that one game that we want to get back.
When's that Snorville game coming up?
That's coming up. It's going to be April the 18th.
All right,
April the 18th.
We'll put that. We'll mark that one. We'll mark that one on the calendar and look forward to it. Thanks a lot, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, welcome back, and big thanks to Coach Coley for that interview. Color Creek girls, they're sitting right there at the top of the region. We'll see. We'll get to them a little later. We talk about
You're
games
saying the
this
Creek
week.
girls need to finish strong. Todd, I'm looking at their record. Like, why do they need – they're currently 9-2 on the season.
Explain yourself, Todd.
Well, and explain.
They're 9-2 on the season, 4-1, second place in the region right now.
Okay, but let's talk about why they're
And
in
North
second.
Murray girls are 4-5 and 1-4 in the region.
Okay, so this is why they have to finish strong, okay? Because they had a little hiccup against LFO, and so it handed them a loss. Sonoraville is sitting there undefeated and is probably going to run the table. And so they each play their last region game until seeing each other, the last game of the year for both of them. But they got about 4 games in between.
Okay.
So Coahuila Creek basically is going to, if they run the table, which I expect they will, they're going to have to go down to Sonoraville and they're going to have to win.
That's a big test.
Right. And so the slip up, which they had no offense to LFO, they had no business to losing to LFO, has now put them in this situation where they got to go to Sonoraville and win.
I will say, kind of outside reference, Dawn State had a slip up early in our season, and we won the national tournament. So sometimes maybe the slip up can be what triggers the
right, and that could be a big defining moment for them because sometimes you need to. I hate to say it, it helps to have that loss and show like where you need to improve.
Yes.
So,
and it looks like you guys were able to catch up with Coach Troutner and Treco. So what did they have? Obviously, we'll go to the interview in a second. But what did Coach Troutner?
They're just really happy with how this team has came along this year. You never know what you're going to get at the beginning. They knew they were getting some leadership, and so they're just really happy with the trajectory and the development of the team, and they think they'll improve as much with the season that's left as they have so far. So I think they're actually sitting in a pretty good spot.
And with that, let's go to that interview that Todd was able to procure with Murray County coach Troutner and Treco. So here you go.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football. I'm joined by Murray County girls coaches, Coach Troutner and Coach Trejo. Thank you for joining me. Just want to ask you guys, so far this season, how do you feel like the season's progressing from where you guys started in the early spring?
I think that the girls are showing tremendous growth. From where they were at the beginning of the year. We see them improve every time they take the field, and I'm very happy with the way that they're growing.
And Coach Trejo, let me ask you, where do you think where do you want to improve for the rest of the season?
I want to improve on our communication and our passes. The through balls and communication we lack a little bit, but it's a growing process. Some of these girls have never played, and some of them have never played together. So it's a growing process. That's what I want to see.
Well, thank you guys very much, and good luck on the rest of the season.
All right, thank you so much.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. Todd, thank you for getting those interviews. So what you think?
I try to do good work around
Big
here.
shout out to Mary.
Oh, yeah. Your girl, she said.
Absolutely.
She said, I've already been interviewed once this year. I was like, hey.
She didn't have tacos in her hand this time. That was the difference.
No, she didn't. And by the way, shout out to Murray County. I go to the concession stand. We had tacos, we had tortas, we had the whole setup. Yeah, man, it was great.
So really quick, let's look. So you say Creek girls need to finish strong because obviously they're going to play Sonoraville at the end. Mm-hmm. Can they play up to that pressure? And then you also have, can Leslie Brito step up and deliver in the big moments?
So I think that's an important thing is moving forward. This is a team that's becoming cohesive, but you're going to have a player to step up and have a big moment. And they're going to be looking for Brito to step up and do that. And, we know she has the talent. We know she has the speed to do it. The question is she going to deliver in that big moment? And I think ultimately the answer is yes, but that moment's still yet to present itself. So
it's going to be a big test coming up.
And big test on Friday.
Yeah,
the girls play.
Just the girls. Look, don't come at me with this. Just the girls play Dalton and Coahuila Creek. So
at Dalton.
Yeah, I think it's.
And then Dalton boys play Baylor. After that,
yeah. So an interesting night. If you want to get out and see some interesting matchups, that'll be it. Creek's going to be mentally ready. The question is, will they be able to handle Dalton's depth and talent? I think they'll be disciplined enough. Creek has Megan on that back line, and she holds it together great. So we'll see.
We'll see. And with that, let's get ready to go to commercial break, and we'll come back. We'll discuss a little bit more of the Coahuila Creek boys versus Murray County.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankley Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
member FDIC.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football. Let's go ahead and keep talking about that Friday night.
Stand on the east side of the river there. Yeah, so I went over there. I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest with you. We knew that Creek had been missing some players. Cruz had been out for some time. And when I went over, I saw I was in warm-ups, so I was watching, and Cruz was out there, and I was informed that he actually picked up his first 15, 20 minutes of playing time the night before. Wow. And was going to play. So obviously a good sign. He was coming out to play that night versus Murray County. So it was good to see him out there. It looked like he was moving well. He didn't look encumbered at all by his injury. So
it's a heck of a word.
Yeah, it was good to see.
And let's look at it. So this was what originally was supposed to be 4 games in a week for Creek, but it looks like they did a reschedule. They rescheduled Sonoraville for later, I think sometime in April.
Still at 3 games. I mean, still a busy week.
But 3 weeks. But 3 games. But I had told you, Todd, you had said, I'm worried about the Tryon game. And I said, no, I think this Murray County game it's going to be the game.
How'd you know?
It's just for Murray County, I think it's going to meant more. And I did, and even though, because Murray County look at it, they're currently 2-2 in the standings. Mm-hmm. With this loss, Coahulla drops down to 4-1. They are still in first place, currently in the region, but I just felt like Murray County was going to want it more. And Todd, you were there. I mean, you got here too dependent on Omar Mendiola. So
let me back up a little bit. What we also didn't know was that Murray County, sitting at 2-2 and had been in some close games, had also been down one of the twins. Jacob was in the goal, but they had been down Seth in midfield for about 4 weeks, maybe like 5-6 games, something like that. So a huge component of their midfield and the way they want to operate. So to start off the game, honestly, Murray County was on the front, Cullah Creek was on the front foot, dominated most of the possession. Murray County was content to sit back, absorb, but was physical and trying to win possession, would try to spring a counterattack. And just right out the gate, Murray County scores on a quick counter, and they're up 1-0. But then it was right back, Coahulla Creek possession, and everything was trying to be forced. It seemed, and everything was trying to go through Omar. And Omar, at some point, I thought he did successfully dribble just about the entire Murray County team, but they just weren't getting good looks. They weren't quality chances, and you could tell in Cruz's absence, it seemed like there was this dependency to go through Omar for everything, which, I understand he's probably the most talented player on your team, but it was predictable. It was predictable.
You alluded to that, to the Alatuna girl that was missing in the same sentiment of depending too much on one person.
And probably, just after that, they spring another counterattack, and Seth Hendrickson looks up, and he just blasts it from about 30 out. I wish I had it on and just rips the upper.
You weren't ready for it?
No, I wasn't ready for it. Matter of fact, I think I had a taco in my mouth about the time it happened because Coach Asher had stayed over, Coach Griffith had stayed over from the Coahulla Creek girls, and we just looked at each other and we were like, dang. And the next thing you know, it's 2-0. And you're like, well, Creek's going to get back in this. Creek's going to get – they didn't. They didn't. And it was just a predictable moving forward, like going forward, it was just predictable, forced, and I think that's ultimately what did them in.
And it looks like we had Omar Mandela scoring the goal for Coahulla Creek, and then you had Julio Escobar with 2 goals with a brace, and then Seth Henderson in his first game back.
Julio Escobar had himself a game too. Like I said, a couple of goals, but it was Seth with that. I asked him in the interview, I was like, was that pent-up frustration? He was like, yeah, basically.
Well, and then talk about that interview. Let's go ahead and roll right into that interview that you were able to get with Seth and Jacob Hendrickson.
Hey, this is Todd with Monday Night Football, and I'm joined by the Hendrickson brothers over in Murray County. They just pulled off they and their teammates just pulled off the 3-1, and I'm just going to call it upset, and I'm going to call it a signature win for the program. Seth, let's start with you. What does it feel like to pull off a big win like this for the program?
Yeah, it's definitely a signature win for us. We've been here for 4 years. We're seniors this year.
and to finally be able to win against Gahola it's big for us.
Coach Bergano said he thought that was the first win Murray over Creek in ever.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, I mean the 4 years we've been here, it's been close every year, but it feels good to finally beat them.
And Jacob, you had to make some key saves tonight. How do you stay focused in a game like this where you go up and then you're just getting peppered right and left with shots?
The big thing is just staying focused the whole game, right? I got to take each action one step at a time. And if I make a save, I get up and I go again. It's as simple as that. So.
And Seth, you've missed the last 5. Is it 5 weeks?
It's been about 4 weeks. Yeah.
About 4 weeks, and you had a goal in the first half. I wasn't measuring it, but it looked every bit of 30 yards out. Did you feel like that was a lot of frustration in that shot?
A little bit. I've kind of had that, locked and loaded in the chamber for a long time, and it felt good to finally release it on the field. So it's beautiful. I'm glad to be back. Yeah.
All right, and so you guys are going to be continuing your career from here over to Truett McConnell.
Yes.
Was it always the plan that you two would play college ball, and if so, did you guys think you'd be going together?
Initially, I mean, since I think 8th grade, we've been trying to go to college. That's kind of been the goal, like the long-term plan, and it feels good to have that, come true. And initially, we weren't sure if we were going to go together, but it just feels fitting, going to the same school, continuing soccer together.
Seth, you think you can spend another 4 years with this guy?
Yeah, I think I can handle him for another 4. He'll put up with me. Yeah.
All right, well, congratulations on the big win tonight, guys, and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
Hey, welcome back, and big thanks to Jacob and Seth. Outstanding interview, and you can see they're headed on to bigger and better things at Truett McConnell, but not before I think they're ready to handle some unfinished business. You alluded to it, 2-2 in region, but still 4 games for them to play themselves into a playoff spot. And I'm telling you, if they play like they did the other night, the way Julio was up top, the way Jacob was in midfield, Jacob was in goal and Seth was in midfield. I mean, you're looking at a team that is dangerous, and they're playing like they got something to prove.
And that's good.
Do you think it's fair to say that this result kind of showed them we can and we will?
Oh, Coach Bergano, after the game, he retired from coaching a couple of years ago, he basically said the same thing. I felt like this win has just been just out of touch for so many years, and this was the first time that Murray County beat Creek. So you could tell that this was like a huge moment in Murray County soccer, and like that belief. We'll see how they settle down and move forward. This region right here is actually pretty wild. You have Creek sitting on top, but Murray County is tied for first place, or North Murray's tied for first place with them. That game is set to go off, I think, maybe next week. So keep your eye on that one because North Murray's sitting there undefeated. So that one could be.
No, North Murray, I got them at 4-1 in the region.
4-1. Sorry, so, they're tied. They're both tied at 4-1.
I love hearing that.
So Region 2A, Region 7 is going to get interesting. But we got a little bit, a minute and a half here. Let's just pivot a little bit because you don't have them on the agenda. But let's just talk about how the Southeast boys and girls have sort of come back and put themselves in contention. The boys coming back with 2 wins last week in region to move their record up to 2-3. They're still 5th, but they have 2 region games this week. The big one, they have a big game on Friday versus Cedartown, both of the boys and girls. So
which has to look really winnable right now.
Yes. So they're looking. I mean, we got to think about it. Like the boys and girls are coming in at 7-3. They're at 3-2 in the region, so sitting at 3rd place. It's Allatoona, Dalton, Southeast. So the girls just play their game. They should win out, and they should secure that 3rd place. But the boys, they have a lot to play for. I mean,
they got to have some help.
Yes. But the big game is going to be that Friday because Cedartown's having to play Allatoona and then Southeast on Friday. If you look at Cedartown, if they lose, that will put them 3 losses. Then you're going to have to look at region schedule, and it's going to get all crazy. But I wanted to bring that up because obviously
that's a good point.
We're going to be talking about Northwest here in a bit. But Southeast boys, shout out to you guys. You had your back against the wall. You've rebounded, and now you hold it in your hands, and all you can do is play out this week and see what happens.
And now it's time to bring the smoke.
Cliche, one game at a time.
Yes. But with that, let's get ready to go to commercial break. And when we come back, we will be discussing Todd's alma mater.
I'm Dr. Michelle Little. And I'm Dr. Kayla Gibo with Foundation Direct Family Care. We wanted to start a membership-based primary care practice.
But we're doctors, not business people.
I'm Kylie Roy with Biltwell Bank. I listen to their pitch and help them scale from startup to owning their own building.
Builtwell sees the value of small businesses in the community and supports their ingenuity.
Because every business owner doesn't have an MBA, our bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Who's up for some football?
That's not football. This is football.
And Eddie, there's one thing that we all can agree on. That's it. North Georgia is the home for new and pre-owned vehicles. And don't forget accessories, parts, service, and collision needs.
Claro que sí se puede. Come see us.
Hey, that's our part.
Welcome back to Monday Night Football, your alma mater. You know, the ones that I lost the bet against at least all that time ago. Talk to us about Northwest, and just they are having such a moment.
Okay.
Well,
let me ask you. Hold on. I was going to say that wrong segue.
They had, so let's, where do we want to start out, Todd? On the boys or the girls side?
There's a lot to talk about.
The boys, let's go. They were undefeated.
Yes. Ranked, and they are, as currently, ranked number one
in 3A.
Yes.
They had a hiccup versus a team that lost to Gilmer County.
So I mean, but this is what you get, right? This is the inconsistencies of high school soccer. You know, why does Calhoun go to Gilmer and lay an? No, I'm not going to disrespect Gilmer like that. Going to play in Gilmer is tough. That's actually a really good team, and I think we're going to see that. But, you know, we question the announcement of Tino leaving down in Calhoun and the impact that had. And did that have anything to do with Calhoun losing to Gilmer? But, yeah, but basically Northwest didn't handle business against Calhoun, and, you know, they just let it get – they lose on penalty kicks. But no matter what, it's an L.
And that L, let's just look at region, puts them at 4-1, currently in second place.
Second place, yeah.
And
now the it looks like you could have a real mess up top when I mean, first of all, Northwest has got to beat Gilmer. Like that has to happen.
And they play Gilmer on Tuesday.
Yeah, so that should be a big game coming up this week.
And is it at I
have not looked, my man. I don't know where it's being played at.
It's at Gilmer, so they're going to have to go on the road, go over the mountain and through the woods
for a must-win.
I'm telling you, like, and obviously that's a tough place to play. I remember Dalton Academy going over there to play a few years ago, and I remember Rory's stories about that. It's not a place you want to go in a must-win situation, and I know it's a talented team over there as well.
Hey, but I not to talk any shade, but we know Northwest barely watches their own team play at home, so it may not be that big of a crowd.
Hey, it's gonna be moms and girlfriends.
In Northwest, we're not saying that in a bad way. Todd, we've said, like, you have the number one team in the state playing, and the support that they're getting is not where it needs to be.
That's
so
right.
You guys
it needs to be more than moms and girlfriends.
Yes, as Todd calls them, wags, because
wives and girlfriends.
Yes.
But having said that, I mean, they still control. I think at the end of the day, they get it done. They still win the region, and they get a favorable seeding going into the playoffs. But there's still so much more to play for with Soccer City Cup and Dalton. And all that.
And you also got to think about that other component is no private schools in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Big thing.
So
that's the thing I think I keep forgetting is if we can just get to the playoffs, it's a whole different
story. It's going to be a brand new season.
Even in 2A, no private schools in the playoffs. So you don't have to worry about those teams that could trip up North Murray. That it's usually been the teams that have beaten them in the past. Creek's been.
Or a Westminster or
a Wesleyan or somebody like that.
Well, before we go any further, I do want to give a big shout-out and congratulations to Connor Stiles. He'll be signing with Bryant.
We got that graphic right here.
Yeah, that's right, with Bryan University up in Dayton, Tennessee. So big congratulations to him. Just another in the long line of not only Bruins, but of people from the Soccertown listening and watching area to sign a scholarship. So kudos and congratulations to him.
That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, absolutely. Just somebody going on, continuing that dream of playing. You know, we talked about Lorelei last week, and there'll be more as the spring comes on. And hey, if you want to come on here on the show and announce your signing, we're here for that too.
And
that'd be great.
We've done it in the past.
That's right. We'll do it.
Hey, but Todd, let's pivot really quick. Northwest girls currently ranked 8th in 3A. They started out a little slow, but looks like they've rebounded in typical Northwest girls fashion. They are 7-2 on the season.
Both their losses basically in those preseason games, undefeated in region.
And 5-0 in the region. Yep. So
they'll have the same tough game against Gilmer this week. Gilmer, I think, is sitting second or third in the region. You got to go over there and play. Anything can happen. So you basically, Coach Gutierrez has just got to keep them focused on the task at hand, and I think they'll be just fine. And
really quick, let's just discuss a little bit of Christian heritage. Here they are, both boys and girls. They're not having the season that we have expected. The boys did get a win versus Dade County, but then follow that up with an L the following game. The girls have been struggling a little bit more. They're sitting at 2-7 overall, 1-3 in the region, and then the boys are sitting at 6-5, 2-2 in the region, 5th in the region. And we've discussed it for them. It gets harder because if they qualify for the playoffs, they're in the private school bracket, which is going to make it rough.
So, that's not it's not going to get any easier, that's for sure.
And then we have North Murray, which we touched on briefly. The girls are coming in at 4-5 overall, 1-4 in the region. So they're currently 8th in region on the girls' side. And the boys are coming in with a 4-1 marker, tied for second, 6-3 overall. So whenever they play Kahala, the Battle of the Consauga River, that's going to be, it's going to be a big game.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, I don't know when that game is. It may be next week. I think it is next week, actually. It is spring break week next week, so we will not have a show. So if you're watching, I know we've waited till now, but we will not have a show next week. But, yeah, that game I'm definitely going to make every attempt to be at because I think that's going to be the one that decides it.
Oh. Well, and with that, let's get ready to go to commercial break. And we'll come back and discuss the upcoming games that we have for Week 7 here in Saugertown, USA.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
I chose OptiLink because of the great local service. We know computers, and OptiLink knows internet with high-speed symmetrical uploads and downloads.
My customers depend on me for safety and security, and I need fast and dependable internet. That's why I chose OptiLink.
Some people say you can't have fast internet. I say, oh, yes, you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today, 706-529-1313.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
And welcome back to Monday Night Football. And here we are getting ready. First of all, let's thank all of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
For supporting this show that we get to see that you guys get to see every day. We want to, thank Matt Gasson for helping us, for letting us use their space for this. And really quick, as we thanked all those, something that's been amiss here that you guys have been waiting, I'm wearing a Mexico jersey for a reason. These guys are U.S. fans. They do not want to support their allegiance, but not only did they get put out in the semifinals.
Don't act like you Mexico fans.
Fourth place.
Don't act like you would have finished fourth and wore your jersey the next day.
I'm just saying,
you're lying. You're
all I know
absolutely
is Todd in the past has been very big to say dos a cero, but today he's
That'd be me with you, Todd. But
and then they played a Canada team, and Canada just whoo.
But Canada, it's not your granddad's Canada, okay?
Right. So I just wanted to see that. So I was wearing it here.
But the U.S. was garbage.
So, but with that, let's get ready to go to the OptiLink schedule for this week. So you guys go ahead and call those out.
Oh, we're doing it. Shifting to us. One said he's been carrying the heavy.
Let's see what's on Tuesday.
All right, Tuesday, Northwest at Gilmer, girls and boys. Cahulla Creek versus Union County, girls and boys. North Murray versus North Cobb Christian, girls and boys. Dalton versus Cass, both. Murray County versus Sonoraville, both. Southeast versus Woodland, both. And Dalton Academy at Heritage, just the boys.
And then, of course, let's go ahead and roll on to Thursday, March 27th. We have Cohola Creek at North Murray, both the girls and the boys. And then the only other game that day, Northwest versus Allatoona boys. And then Friday's big matchup, we do have the Downland Academy, both the girls and the boys, versus Coosa. And then for Murray County, both the girls and the boys, they're facing Rockmart. We come back for Dalton versus Cohola Creek girls as well. And then Dalton versus Baylor. And then we wrap up the week with Southeast at Cedartown, another smokehouse perhaps?
No, I don't know about that. I think that's actually going to be a pretty decent game, but I do look for Southeast to win that one as we need them to.
So really quick, Todd, we got a Soccer Cedar Cup matchup, Dalton versus Cohola Creek on Friday.
Yep, be there.
Big implications there.
Yep.
Dalton versus Baylor. That should be a big game there.
Man, if you show up to Dalton on Friday night, that's two games you're going to get that I think are quality matchups.
Northwest, I mean, they're playing up versus Allatoona, so that looks like it's going to be big. And then you have a big region game, Cohola Creek playing North Murray on that side. So,
yep.
I mean, we're going to have a lot of
I'm going to try to be there on Thursday. That Creek boys and North Murray boys, I think it's going to be good stuff.
And then a big one at the end of this, for the boys, more in the Southeast versus Cedartown, but it's at Cedartown. The girls, hopefully, if they can run out, they will clinch their part of the third seed in the region. But that one is going to be decisive. Just look at the score lines. You know, Southeast beat Cartersville 10-1. Cedartown struggled to get past Cartersville 4-3. Mm-hmm. Don't know if that has a little, we'll see.
You hate to do that. Here's the bottom line. You got to show up and you got to handle business. You can't be scoreboard watching. Just handle your business in front of you and it'll take care of itself.
But with that, we want to say thank you for watching another episode of Monday Night Football, and we will see you not next week, but in 2 weeks due to spring break. But, hopefully you all will enjoy the show and go back and watch our other shows.
Don't do nothing stupid.
Yeah, and thank you very much.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At ColdwellBanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's assurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams. At ColdwellBanker.com.
Why should you choose OptiLink Internet?
When I work from home, I need fast, reliable internet. OptiLink provides that with no hidden fees.
Our customers depend on us for great service and quality. And that's why we chose OptiLink Internet.
As we serve the needs of our clients, we need reliable internet service. That's why I chose OptiLink as my hometown provider.
Some people say you can't get fast internet. I say, oh yes you can with OptiLink.
Experience the difference. Call today.
Discover what a strong, locally owned community bank can do for you.
I'm Tyler Hudson of Shankley Training in Dalton, Georgia. We train a huge number of the region's aspiring soccer players. I moved my business and personal banking to Builtwell 2 years ago. It's important for me to work with a community bank where I know them and they know me. Because they make things easy for me, my bank is Builtwell.
Member FDIC.
Here's two of the nicest guys in the car business.
Hey, it's Eddie and Greg from North Georgia Toyota. We'll take a little break from doing commercials, do a little fishing. Hey, I'm not fishing, I'm catching. All right, hang in there, don't let it get away.
Don't let your big deal get away at North Georgia Toyota.
Greg, some of us gonna say, we can't do that. What do we say? We say, oh yes, we can. That's only at North Georgia Toyota in Dalton. Come see us. Bring it in.
To advertise your business on TV, contact Elliott Media at 706-529-4237.